Somebody handsy. I guess I'll get yours.
Yeah, real. Well,
There's seriously no spirits here.
nice water. Good morning, everyone. Contact. How are we all doing today? Oh, come on, boy. Not the end crew was loud. How are we doing today? Good. It is. Welcome to beautiful Bay Bulls here. You are sailing on the Atlantic Puffin. My name is Zach. I will be your tour guide. If there are any questions, comments, concerns, or insults for that matter, those can be directed towards myself. On the note of insults, though, it is a two-way street, and I have a microphone. So, judge accordingly. As well, for introductions, first and foremost, we have our captain, Captain Jerry behind the helm there. Give him a stop there, everybody. And that's Jerry saying hello to all you wonderful people. As well, downstairs, we've got our first mate, Zach, as well. Give him a stop there, too. It's not more, but he's down there. So, as well, last but certainly not least, this handsome devil at the stern is the most important member of your crew, and he goes by the name of Darren. You settle down. Anyone take a guess as to why Darren is the most important member? We're going to stop and tell you a life back up there. He's the most important stuff. Right, you know, this is probably the kind of everything the man to do. As well, yeah, but it's always been different coverage of the man. That first hour and a half, we'll get you sorted out. Sound good? All right, let's do some safety. So, on my top deck here, downstairs, Zach, Daniel, and him are both on the keyhole trying to hit that. If you want one of them, what's the top of the quickly, and hit down there, take the cabin down from the back. So there's two things you put on. You come right up like this, you go, then we will probably $100. Now, if you even have sunglasses that the car smells good, then you can. And they are reversible, so the front is the front and the back. There you go. Put it like the top of it. Right behind the back. It's all nice and silk. Well, we got those chest straps there. Make sure they're nice and silk as well. As the man down, the jacket will simply fall off and that's no good. Otherwise, you're all set. Thank you, Daniel and Zach. Give them a hand there, everybody. Fantastic. Now, I tell you what, those jackets do a great job of keeping you floating, but they don't do a single thing for the water temperature, which we did measure to be a degree or two above freaking freezing. So make sure that skate takes some out to quite that on board. Contact 150 people leaving. All of you, myself and the crew, the entire bump of the bar, we only come with us. Shouldn't be keeping necessary with the ball, all inclusive cruise. Almost so excited. After about 40 still hard best enough in a 2 hours. However, I do like that all night. That's it. That's the one here moving up to a rail. You can run one for this one, but big detail of the thing in that order to make sure that something. The one that looks like it has two potential or to be a bit like defense loss was not to see for this. The tackle is all in. But in all seriousness, though, people are not feeling well. Myself, more than a few of them. We want to make sure each and every one of us has that confidence. Next spot. Phulwani, that's built I know today. So,
Are there seats up there?
inside, so it's really smart with injuries, it's really smart to have. But I can do that. About 6 and they feel that they'll do everything they're using all of the best. As well, you have to actually terrible. Two of them down. So, you have to take a little marine style to it. Say hi and it's lots of folks say. Which goes down, that's probably coming down the safe. That's first thing to that roof. You guys all got that. Perfect. As well, on the top, they will put on the top deck. There's always a 12 stuff in the back. They're not supposed to do a bit. I'm going to try to bring the two on the bed. So, if you get to get more things, then it's a very long way. So, myself, otherwise, no one else can do that. Oh, right. One more final point, Steve, gentlemen. This is a non-smoking, non-bathing vessel, which means no puffins. I'll be here all week. All right. Now, that's what I have for Steve here. First of all, I tell you what, Daniel, let's talk to him behind the bar about the models. Okay, he's living. I'm glad you guys went out. You guys got some nasty houses, so that was prepared. And we're realistic. We would like to see a whale today. But who can we? Oh, absolutely. Now, I tell you what, that's realistic expectations here. We're talking towards the tail end of the season. Don't shoot the messenger here. Yeah. But we are going to do that later in the season. Especially if you're kind of a student. So, that's I'm sure more than you're going to congratulate real well. I got that. Awesome. Because that's like the next thing I have to do. So, exercise. All right. So, now you're just 12 o'clock. Let's do this together. This is 12. Shout it out. What's this direction? 3. Perfect. You guys are experts. The reason we like to talk this is so good. Over there. So,
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
What? How was the holiday here? And for the first person there to spot a whale today. And that can be confirmed by myself or another crew member. You just won yourself a free drink or refreshment of your choice from the bar. How's that sound? Now we're all engaged here. I tell you what though, the cruise spots are pretty you're all right. So you know, it's hit boxes downstairs. Oh my God. You know what? You're very social people are about that. But we're heading here to the Witness Bay Ecological Reserve, specifically Doulat Island. It's called the last I counted, but 500,000 of people population today. I tell you what, based on the last tour, I picked every one of those 500,000 up in the air there today. Lots of room for all of the wild population. So I say we have more than that time right now. But do I have to get 60 seconds with it? What's your song today? Oh, what do you want to sing? Oh, glad that's the other. That's all right. That's all right. That's what it came in for. So, I got one lined up here, folks. They don't care the two lines about it. Yeah, there was one around two there. Please spot it back there. That's right. No, if you don't know the words, look at yourself. I do a great job on my own. But I can finish this course. If you know the words, you feel this sing along. The more you feel the sing along, the better I'm going to sound. But that's well, if you don't know the words, if you feel the sing along, you can hear give me a nice steady thing. Something along the lines of. Oh, I survived the bells, the bones, I survived the bells, oh, I survived the death of the fish, the breeze, the home, the rise, the survived the bells, the bones, every time I come down, the falling out of the smoke, so I survived the valley of lake, thank you, Jesus, I can't, I can share this thing again, fire. If you like this out to go, if you like this out loud, come and join me, go all around the night door. I want to make it go. That's no good for my girl. I'm dying good. That's without a bottle of this stuff. If you like this out to go, if you like this out loud, come and join me, go all around the night door. I like to do it. It's nice to cheap to travel, but every time you cheap, it was up to me to travel. If you like to start to go, if you like to start down, follow the floor, get all around us. Go. Oh, stop. Whatever way you guys. Anyway, I'm going to direct your attention now to our three-prong position. Out there is our 550 billion social shoreline. The important is the pleasure. The same shoreline I got the full products together with Nokia. The same the Spain, Morocco, and Portugal. You think one of them is cruise. That's the media of the focus. We get some wild forces in our okay, the questions on the way. We'll be let you know. The product is the focus. The news will be on. Possibly okay. Just make sure the whole going. Cheers, everybody, and you're not going to miss it.
I think it might be a bird. No. Get a feel big. Huh? Bound for St. Peter's and the spring's my love dear. Often the days, the bones that stir under from rose and rose now, searching for the way. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, good. In the morning of the oh yeah, yeah. I know. I actually prefer it to be fun. Yeah, the bigger
This here, folks, is Gull Island, largest core island of the participating broad course. Now, as we're coming along, next month, one of our largest rock place home to 304 species on it. First of all, most people see lots of them are black-legged penguins. Small species called their whole island connections. And they're going to be the majority of the golden penguins. You might notice the birds going to top the cliffside. Look like penguins there. Those are going to be called common murre, and they're gen females. Mostly known as common murre. If you look at you can that bird might be Phulwani, but if you Newfoundland, you know that bird is either turned or suffered. So, those are going to be those small penguin-like birds that we're seeing on the top of the cliffside here. And finally, there's one more species that you will get a good look at here called the razorbill auk. Now, if you look at the top of the rock here, towards that 2 o'clock position there, you'll see a lone black and white bird sitting at the top of the cliff there, just on his own. That is a razorbill auk. He's a bit different than the murre, the second he's more hunched over with a bit of a thicker beak there. You will also get some white coloration on the beak. There'll be a slight stripe going vertically and horizontally there. That's a razorbill auk there. Then all those black and white birds beneath them there on the cliffside are those common murre. So great way to distinguish between this area right here. You can see them up there with that thicker beak. That is a razorbill auk. And then lower down, changing more straight up there, very similar to penguins, are going to be no common murre. And then the absolute plethora of Doulat here are those penguins, all jammed in the cliffside. As we're coming along here, folks, we will hopefully have a very quick opportunity to do a thick-billed murre. I know we have some birders on board here, so I will do my very best to point it out quickly as we're coming across here. But all of the little penguin birds you're seeing there, those are the common murre. The gulls are penguins. The razorbills are those ones at the top of the cliffside there. And that one you're seeing nice and close to us, folks, that was another black-legged penguin. That's a juvenile coloration, though. More black color on them there. So the thick-billed murre, folks, for those curious, looking directly off our 3 o'clock position. Start at the water's edge, down at the bottom, and work your way up. You will see the first group of murres, about 3/4 of the way up the cliffside there, directly in front of where I'm standing on the top deck. Look to the far right side, you'll see an individual sitting by himself there. He has a white streak on the side of his feet. That is a thick-billed murre. The one lone one sitting by himself now back towards that 3/3, 4 o'clock position, a little white streak on his feet there. That is your thick-billed murre. Now, if you're not a birder, I really would just select this species as it looks pretty much the same as every other murre up there, minus that white stripe on his feet. And if you want to see some good white stripes, look them up on Spotify. So, as we're coming along here, folks, a great look as well. There's plenty more of those murres and those kittiwakes. Like I was saying, the ones with the black coloration on their wings are just the juvenile stage of those kittiwakes. They hatched about 3 weeks ago here. They're kind of going through that goth teenage phase right now. But as they get a bit older, they will lose that black coloration, look more traditionally like your standard gull with the black and white wings there. Or rather, the gray and white wings. But as we're coming along here, folks, we are going to be starting to get into a bit more of a grassy terrain area here. And the grass is going to be where you will be spotting our Atlantic Puffins. In fact, every little bird you spot up in the grass there with that bright white belly is one of our cute little Atlantic Puffins standing in front of their very own 2 beds of the puffin. Excellent first look at a group of them, folks. Now up at that 2 o'clock position. All those ones sitting in the grass there are puffins there. Don't worry if you can't see them quite yet. There will be plenty more feeding opportunity for them along the way. This just gives you that first little teaser as to what to expect in terms of habitat. And as we talk about habitat, we should talk about predators out here. There is no source of fresh water on the island, meaning no mammals of any kind out here. No cats, rats, bats, foxes, anything that could disturb the nesting sites. However, there are 2 species of bird out here that will predate on puffins and murres. The first one is going to be the bald eagle. That is the #1 predator out here. However, the #2 predator are those large gulls you're seeing directly at our 3 o'clock position with the bright black wings. White bird, black wings, large gull. That is a greater black-backed gull, and that bird alone will eat about one puffin every day or two. We would refer to that as an Atlantic Puffin. Oh. Yes, here, folks. All's well. Coming up towards our 1 o'clock position, this is our largest common murre colony here on the island. Last I counted, there's about 14,997 individuals in that colony, or if I'm going off my script, about 15,000 birds. A bit different in terms of nesting practice compared to our puffins. Our puffins digging out those burrows there, those condos. Our murres will be laying their eggs directly on the rock face there. And I tell you what, on my top deck, I'm currently holding a scale replica of a common murre egg. Now, puffin eggs look exactly like chicken eggs in all aspects, but the murre eggs are pretty distinctly different from a chicken egg. What do you can stare it out here that you know is the difference between this and, say, a chicken egg? The color. I heard size, color, and the point in it. So, the size is always be what I start with. This egg is huge. It is a third of the size of the adult female when she lays it here. Remember, that's a 150-pound limit here for a 250-pound child. Ouch! It's a little bad though. The father has to declare the chips to the first season out here. Every mom has a great time to get by. As one of their folks, I heard someone talk about the poisonous of the egg. These birds are laying those eggs directly on the rock face. Both mom and dad will develop something called a brood pouch. A section of the alligator that will use its feathers from the nesting stage. The egg contact will form the egg and divide the hit points and bring that egg up against the cliff. But that's happening. It's not roll very far. In fact, you look at the stationary, that's more than top than it would roll. Finally, I think some comments on the parrot. It's a very pretty egg. It looks like someone up for a rabbit's egg. But every single female out there has a parrot who's always pretty good. Every season she comes to lay an egg, we'll have the exact same two female out there, we'll have the same parrot for we also see it in halfway through the season, we'll be able to take it today. And that's happening. Good way to identify your egg amongst the other 7,500 eggs out there. As well, I'm sure you noticed that if you're getting by, birds are actually referred to as having flagrants. A treaty guest as to why. The puffin is referred to as a surface. Speaking of surfaces, we are getting some fun puffin habitat over here. All of those birds who come to the grassland folks are the Atlantic Puffins. But let me tell you something. Each one of them, being in front of those burrows there, those burrows will stretch kind of either in depth or at the length of your arm. There are two distinctive grooves in there, ever shaped up where they were later singular in the first season. And then the deep shaped birds will be exploring more of one part of create a form of bird cement. They would use that bird cement to line the inside of the burrow there, creating structural integrity as well as thermal regulation throughout the unit. These birds will actually return to that same burrow every single year for the rest of their lives, and they're phenomenal seabirds, meaning that they need for life. That is a trait that is the same with our puffins, our murres, as well as our razorbills, which are all in the same family, the Atlantic, or the opposite. Are not in the same family. As well, I'm sure you started to catch the hint here, but you might be wondering what all of these birds are doing here. And I tell you what, they are all here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to get lucky. This here is a nesting colony. If you never watched Love Island, you have no idea. All these birds are singularly here to breed. The rest of the year will be spread from the North Atlantic. And when I say spread across the North Atlantic, I don't mean Ireland, Scotland, and place. These birds will regularly sitting on the open ocean for the rest of the year. Therefore, you're referred to as pelagic seabirds or which sits directly behind that outlet, and salt out of their bloodstream. As well, they are all fishing birds. All these birds are after the same thing that our whales and other planets are after. Ape whale, a small snout like fish coming to the island here, trillions. You want to see on your trip? It's because they're small fish that that is the eat them. That Zodiac there are connected. Oh, I go for the Zodiac there and have pictures of the latest and greatest Airbnbs. This is not it. I am kidding, of course. It's a basic stage. As Ross Parks. That's significant as this is the largest puffin colony in all the puffins. Our goal here is have a bit of an active you've got one puffin every day or two. That's a natural moment for that. Don't see that every day. However, we have less so, here's that actually. Nope, but lost our birds. I have not seen this many. So, we're hoping that the first prosperity now will do so. Let's just talk about the terrain around here, though. Puffins are not very good flyers. So, they say they're going to fly, likely. Help they can. They also are not capable of taking off on the flat ground. Based on being on the water. Surfing along the surface there to take off. Or two, throw themselves off a cliff. In the lateral building. That's strategic advantage of the meter in depth there, which will actually compare to the root system on the strings shrunk at the top of the millimeter. So all the depth you pay it just means it's very well above the habitat. As well, I was talking about non-fish and the target referral. So same house, same spouse, but not the same. All together up the wall. Look at that, we're pretty confident. I put this right on the side. That's ropes. Snow coming down. I'm feeling today, I might as well. Like one of the top folks, the puffins likes to actually 25 to 30 years. Very long for that oldest Atlantic puffs on record.
He looks down, not above the shore.
think those nests at the moment. It's sort of hard to distinguish people, but kind of like that black coloration on the collar. I give roughly the first 18 miles from the hill. Anywhere between 1.5 and 2 million decibels. For reference, Atlantic has 500,000 people. So for the good day, these birds are numbers for one. And with those homesteads, a certain population. If there are any questions as we're starting to make our way in the direction of Bay Falls, please don't hesitate to ask us. I would love to chat with each and every one of you. Hope you got to it's kind of hard to document. So I'm teaching how to it's just
Nah, just one time. I saw it. I saw it. Yeah. Oh, what's it called?
Especially.
Folks, our Newfoundlanders here are currently wearing sou'westers, which are traditional fishing hats. You might notice the brims on them are flipped right up there. The premise being, from our fishermen back in the day, they would have flipped those brims up to keep any rain, sleet, or snow out of their eyes while they were out fishing. But I think we got to look like some decent Newfoundlanders here. Oh, almost here. I'll tell you what, we'll see that. It's not good enough. Oh, good. Yeah, that's all right. So we got to look at the part. Now we got to get to talk at the part. This is where we're going to have some fun with it. So if you are not currently wearing the sou'western, those lovely yellow hats, you're going to ask these people here this simple question. Is he a screecher? Now, we're going to positively, I cannot wait to become a Newfoundlander. I might not have signed myself up for this, but I'm still happy to be here. Indeed, I is. Me old trout, that is a term of affection. That's a term of endearment. If I see any of you wonderful people down on George Street here, I might refer to you as me old trout, my buddy, my friend. So, indeed, I is me old trout. And finally, this is the mouthful, and Ron made a big jib drop. So back in the day on a sailing ship, the jib would have been the forward sail here. So what we're saying is from all of its journeys, all of its adventures, challenges, ups and downs, it fell village. There was me who chased the bird and also Patrick reached the sun. If I knew a bigger lie, I'd tell you so. Singing rifle twirly, twirly, twirly. There's no one who can tell a lie like me. You may search until you tire, you won't find a bigger liar. I've been lying since the dawn of history. I saw Eve picking apples off the tree. And she came over, she always wanted to be. I said, no, thank you, but I gotta go and try to love without him. I'm going home now with some fish sections. Singing life and twirly, twirly. There's no one who can tell a lie like me. You may search until you tire, you won't find another liar. I've been lying since the dawn of history. Well, I saw Noah when he built that great big ark. I went it one night when it was dark, and I saw Peter, Paul, and Moses playing ring around the roses. If I knew a bigger lie, I'd tell you so. Singing rifle, twirly, twirly. There's no one who can tell a lie like me. You may search until you tire, you won't find another liar. I've been lying since the dawn of history. Singing rifle, twirly, twirly. There's no one who can tell a lie like me. You may search until you tire, you won't find another liar. I've been lying since the dawn of history. Singing rifle, twirly, twirly. There's no one who can tell a lie like me. I've been lying since the dawn of history. Oh, settle down, Phulwani, just Phulwani. You guys have been a great crowd here today. If you have a good time with the water today or what? Oh my goodness, the puffins and the tuna. Tell you what, I have never seen tuna out here before. That was a first for me, my goodness. Now, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end here. We're making our way back to the tables here. But we do have some logistics to cover as we come in. First and foremost here, if you got any photos, we'd love to see them. You can post on the social media, feel free to tag us at O'Brien's Twitter or everything. Also, we have all kinds of fun content going up there on daily. So if you're looking to see some more content from us, please check us out at O'Brien's Twitter. As well. The absolute world if you haven't many outside the community. However, if somehow there just wasn't enough birds to it, if somehow the shoreline was fucked together, if somehow your beach wasn't handsome enough for you, I tell you what, how do you keep that to yourselves on the wall? If there were any issues today, though, folks, please don't hesitate to reach out. The only thing we're going to get is people feedback here. So, any questions, comments, concerns, you can reach out to us to let us know. Now, finally, everyone the show the crucial love for today. I am taken, but there will be $3 downstairs along the railing there. Anything there will be more than appreciated by myself and the rest of our crew. But on top, our captain Jerry, and first mate Zach, our bartender Daniel, and myself and Zach, your tour guide, we all want to thank you for your tour. Good rest of your day and a great rest of your stay. Cheers, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Cleanse your soul with a walk in the Atlantic Puffins. Oh, have you take my hand and gone? I need to bring back.
Oh my God. Thank you.